It is 6:15 in the morning and I decided to go ahead and do a garden tour in all its overgrown glory. I kept thinking I would do, oh, let me do this one thing and then I'll do a garden tour. Let me do this one thing, and then it got away from me. It's the middle of July now and I have not yet done a garden tour. The garden itself got away from me this year. We had way more going on this summer than I thought we did. More things kept creeping up. We kept getting more visitors, house projects, stuff like that. And it just ended up being that I got behind on things, couldn't finish some things. So this is a very weedy mess. And I'm gonna do it anyways, as is real life here. I'm starting in the back corner. This is like the corner of my property, the chicken coop, and this area. I will try later to get a quick video from right there, my master bathroom window, because that will just show you the whole garden overview. Just so you can kind of gauge where everything is as I'm showing it to you as I go. So right here, cucumbers, I just took off the sugar snap peas that were done, getting ready to plant more, although I do have one cute. These are sweet peas, just the flowers that I just grew for fun. Aren't they pretty? I love the color on them. I will plant some more peas right here. These are slicing cucumbers. That too, I had to pull these out, and I'm gonna grab just some more from a big box store to put in there. We have been getting slicing cucumbers. I've tried 4 different types in here this year. These ones I had to pull out because they got wilt. I've never had that happen before. I had to look up what was going on, but they got wilt. I'll plant new ones. I did plant one extra I had that seems to be doing fine, even though it's in the same dirt. Is just starting out, but we've still got plenty of summer left, and cucumbers are fast growers. So I have more sweet peas to pull out there. But we have been getting cucumbers almost daily. Right there are the June bearing strawberries. They are done for the year. This box is empty except for weeds right now. That will have a fall crop. Asparagus done eating for the year, and now it has to grow and die off so we can chop it off and mulch over. These are the ever-bearing strawberries. These are Ozark Beauties, so we get them all summer long. See, we've got one here, very nice. They start to get discolored and stuff as the year goes off. They could probably use a fertilizer boost, but I don't typically fertilize. This is one of those boxes that just didn't happen. Need to pull out the sugar snap peas here. I need to turn all the weeds here. These, however, are not weeds. These are peanuts. They'll be ready in like a month or so to pull up. This is the flowering, this is oregano right here in the middle. It's left from last year. It lasted through the winter. It lasted through the chickens. It's doing great. Over here in this weedy box, I just pulled a bunch of garlic, but there's also fingerling potatoes in there, or what you see right now. This is the, this was delicata squash, and I'm just looking at it right now going, what happened? Because yesterday it looked fine. Huh. Interesting. I do plan already to plant some more though. This is an empty box that will have a fall crop. I believe I'm planning on beets in this one. These are, ooh, look at those. These are more strawberries. These are all made from the runners from last year's strawberries in the other boxes. So I have to get out here and pick some. Fabulous today. This weedy mess here is watermelon. This is, yeah, the grass got away from here before I could mulch. The grass grows back up so fast. So these are potatoes that volunteered from last year. I had red potatoes out here last year, and they look like they're getting some sort of blight. But I guess I didn't get them all because they came up in my watermelon patch this year. But these are cherry grandes. And then I have got a middle section of crimson sweet. And then over there are sugar babies, which I will show you when I get closer back over that way. I'm kind of going in a zigzag across the garden. Tomatillos are going gangbusters. I have harvested several, and it is full of ones that are not ready to harvest yet, but doing great. So these are sweet potatoes. My first time growing these, and they're doing pretty darn well. So these are there's a kohlrabi. I probably need to pull that. and eat it. This is some of my son's extra okra, regular like clumps and spineless okra. Right over here are blackberry potatoes. They're little tiny round dark purple potatoes. And then these are brassicas that need to come out. There's kale, broccoli, cabbage in there. They are crazy eaten by the bugs now, but we've harvested off of them and they are ready to go out, and they'll probably go to the chickens today or tomorrow. And I will refresh this dirt for some fall brassicas. I'm looking around thinking, is there somewhere else I can put them so I don't do brassicas 2 places in a row, but I'll probably just fertilize. So these 3 boxes right here are my kids. My youngest daughter wanted, these are tomatoes that are overgrowing the trellis. They're doing well though. These are steakhouse tomatoes. She had broccoli up front, but we harvested and then pulled what was left. We'll add some more for the fall. I think we need to just trim off some branches of her tomatoes. My middle daughter wanted mostly flowers, so she has, this is a volunteer potato from last year. She's got some Benary giant wine zinnias that are doing well, some blushing bride phlox, and then she also wanted strawberries. These are Ozark Beauty strawberries. My son wanted okra and celery and raspberries, so his raspberries are over my raspberry patch, but here we have the red burgundy okra, and he's got some and we need to pick it, but he's not here this week. He is in another state at a running camp. His celery is down here doing well. He has not weeded his box in a while. I did tell him it was up to them. This is a fresh box I need to still add more dirt to. I ran out of dirt, but this is going to be carrots. The whole thing, carrots. I just pulled a bunch of onions out of here. I just also added, I had some leftover, what are those flowers called? Not magnolias. You know what I'm talking about. These flowers, those are green onions I'm leaving. I need to top this off and decide what I'm putting in here next. This was a bunch of lettuces that bolted in the spring. I just pulled out, and I have purple lady bok choy here. That's the bed I just showed you over there. So I will go up this side and down that side right now. This is corn, obviously. Well, this is potatoes right here. So my potato box this year, I didn't stay on top of adding the dirt when I should have, and it started to die off. And I was gonna just pull it and be like, oh, it's done. It's not gonna work out this year. It has problems. And I started getting new flushes of growth. So I just trimmed off most of the what looked like diseased or blighted stuff, and I'm just seeing what happens. I've got nothing to lose at this point for that. The corn. So you can't see that there's 2 different sections of corn here. Let me get around where I can try to find the middle for you. There's like an aisle right there, and then there's 2 sides. So this side is our fresh eating corn. This is all peaches and cream. It is starting to tassel and make ears. This side has 3 different, all experimental ones for different purposes. There is, I believe the really tall stuff is the yellow Truckers dent corn that I'm growing for my chickens, and then painted mountain corn, which I'm growing for fall decoration. And then on the edge is popcorn, Japanese holeless popcorn, I believe. Those are all experimental. I'm just seeing how they do. Here, I should point out the middle. I just did the middle and I'm not finished mulching it. Obviously, I'm not finished weeding and mulching all the stuff in the middle. But this is the pumpkin patch. I'm growing a ton of pumpkins, mostly for decoration. We don't actually eat that much pumpkin. But I have several different types. I will try to remember to put their names on the screens, but that's where you see all the little like holes. And I do have 3 zucchini over here that I just planted because I'm behind on my zucchini this year. But this whole area will be pumpkins of various sorts. I do believe 1 or 2 of those is also a squash that I want for decoration, not like for eating. So right here on this arch, I have the pickling cucumbers. I have picked 1 batch. I can see a couple on there. 1 batch for pickles, but they're still going gangbusters. I've got tons of babies on there, so I will be making more pickles and relish soon. Okay, I can't remember the beans. So I do know that these are, again, this is getting out of hand with weeds and grass. These are Blue Lake pole beans, green beans. I swore those would be the only green beans I grew this year, and then I found some called Greasy Grits. Am I the only person that occasionally tries a variety just because the name is fun? So half of that aisle right there is Greasy Grits, green beans. But these are my main green beans, the Blue Lake pole beans. I might try to stick some sticks up here with string because they grew so fast and they're already so tall. In here, okay, I know that this row is black beans. They're a bush black bean. This row, I believe these are the pinto beans that are growing up there. This row is half Greasy Grits that I was telling you about, and half my dad gave me seeds that he thought were my mom's. She used to grow yard long beans. He wasn't sure if that's what they were because he doesn't remember them looking that way, but they were labeled as yard long beans from my aunt. So I thought I'll grow some of my mom's old seeds just to remember her. So down here in these rows, let's see, what did I have? Pinto. One of these is a bush kidney bean, and one of these, I think it's this one, is a what's it called? Bourre de Roquefort or something. It's a yellow wax bean. I wanted to try those this year. If you follow my Instagram, Daily Ration with Alicia, you would have seen a picture of baby grasshoppers, hundreds of great baby grasshoppers on these, just going crazy. Luckily I seem to have gotten them because they don't seem to be that much damage. So this is the top of that aisle. I'll be working on mulching the rest of this today. It goes slow, especially since I try to pull every weed I can in between so that it's not, the roots aren't there for it to grow back as easily. Most of this side is tomatoes. So my first 3 rows are beefsteaks, and I got behind and didn't tie these up, and now they are too full, too heavy for me to tie. They're loaded though. And I swear they grow up really fast and then they take forever to turn red. But as soon as I harvest enough of these to make the branches way less, then I will tie up. I did tie up what I could. I do have sunflowers growing on the end of each of my tomato aisles. Those are supposed to be big black Hopi sunflowers. I'm growing those for my chickens. These down here this row is different peppers. I have like California Wonders, banana peppers, lunchbox minis, mini bell blends, poblanos, Anaheims, jalapenos. I think that's it. I've got herbs in this section here. So I've got a bunch of dill, some basil, including black opal basil, some oregano, chamomile, thyme, parsley down at the end. A couple extra peppers. I was going to add a whole nother row and got behind and ended up just letting those that I started go. I do have a lot of peppers actually on the vine right now. I have actually eaten some banana peppers. I have already dried a whole batch of dill and basil. So we have, let's see, that's the row I just showed you. Here's another row of beefsteaks, another row of beefsteaks. This one's not doing as well. You can tell I'm working this way with my weeding and mulching because right here is where it stops. Oh, look at that. This row, so that's 3 rows of beefsteaks. This row is experimental, though outside 2. Again, buying something to name, just because the name, Hillbilly Tomatoes. That sounded fun to me. So these outside 2 are Hillbilly tomatoes. They are a different type. They're called oak leaf tomatoes that are apparently more prone to disease, but I haven't really noticed any problems with them yet. In the middle of those 2, I have a few steakhouse tomatoes, which are a large beefsteak type. I have not had any problems with them, but I did notice yesterday that at the top, a lot of the blooms are dying off, and I'm not sure why. Again, all the weeds. So after that starts 3 rows of paste tomatoes. So these are Amish paste tomatoes. There are plenty of babies on here, some of them larger than others. So I have 2 rows of these. Hello, little sunflower. See, here's some continued peppers and stuff. See, look at some of these are huge. Look at those. I've never seen Amish paste tomatoes like that, and I'm not sure why some of those are getting bigger. Another row of Amish paste tomatoes here. And then my third row of paste tomatoes are San Marzanos. They're a lot smaller. I did plant them later too, though. I decided at the last minute that I wanted to try more than just Amish paste. I wanted one row of San Marzanos. I have this baby maple tree here in the middle of the garden, and so I decided to just put extra flowers I had that didn't fit in my front yard out here, and I need to continue it around here. So there's hyssop and zinnias and some cosmos, and that's comfrey and borage. Some more phlox, some more chamomile. I think those are China asters. I can't remember. And then this last row of tomatoes are all the all the cherry types. So I have, some of them are starting to ripen. These are my first ones every year. So these are sweet 100s. Actually, they're super sweet 100s over here, because I couldn't find sweet. I prefer sweet 100s, not the super sweet 100s, not the sweet millions. I like sweet 100s, but I can't find them anymore. So these are the super sweet 100s. These are yellow pears right here. I have a lot of babies, but I thought I had a couple. I thought I had a couple ripe. I guess I don't. And then in the middle here, it looks like I have another round one. I'll have to look at the tag for this one. I know somewhere in here I have orange Peruche. These little tiny ones are Candyland Reds. I grew them last year and they were fun. Way too many to eat, but they're fun in a salad. You don't have to cut them, and the chickens love them too. Can't remember. I feel like there's another one in here I'm missing. Out here on the end, I have another orange Peruche. That was my favorite last year. They're not tasting the same this year. They're just starting to ripen. I've had like 4 or 5 of them. But there's some beautiful orange tomatoes in there. Let's see if I can find any different ripe ones on this side. Oh, in the crazy overgrown land. The Candyland Reds grow all over the place. I remember that last year. Like, you can't even try to stay on top of staking them up. It's just crazy pants. But that's what's like falling down over here. So those are the tomatoes. Oh yeah, see, there's something under there. I thought they were yellow pear, but they're something else. Maybe they're another orange Peruche. I don't know. And that brings us back around to the back side. Here's the peppers and herbs. Tomatoes. And then here's where I showed you that stuff. Here's the watermelon down here. Where's my other? I have a baby sugar baby right there. Being all cute, but see, like, the grass just grows so fast and I couldn't stay on top of it. I am still trying. I am still going through slowly and pulling out grass and covering with mulch and cardboard. But it's very slow going, especially when I'm trying to keep up with harvesting and canning and weeding and swapping stuff out, because this is that time of year when some things are done and need to get pulled and you got to start some fall crops, which I'm doing. So hello there. Hey neighbor. See my neighbor cow? Brother. Neighbor cow. I've got lots of them. They're just behind the hill. And the chickens. I'm trying to do like a quick pan, but I also feel like I can't see anything because stuff is so tall right now. Anyways, that is just, I'm sorry, it's my first garden tour this year, I think. And we're already midsummer and it's an overgrown crazy mess, but it is what it is. And life happens. All right, I will see you guys on the next time. Let me know what you're growing. Okay, the next day at 7:30 at night, I remembered to do the little end overview thing. We have not gotten rain in several weeks, so everything's like dying. I'm having to water, and I apologize now for the noise from the air conditioner. So when I started the video, I was behind that tree over back farther, like by the chicken coop corner over there. And then all the beds, the raised beds, are over there on that side of this tree. And then all the rows are here. So there was like the corn, the beans, down the middle you can't see because the overgrowth is the pumpkin patch. And then these rows right here are the tomatoes, and then up in front here are the peppers and herbs. And the watermelon was down there, like peppers, herbs, watermelon. And that is the garden with the chickens on the other side back there. Their run goes out to here for now. And that's the overview, just to help you picture where everything was. Also, real quick, I thought of, I haven't been very good about getting the garden tours done, but I do still post, not as well as I did last year, but several times a week with harvests or whatever, like little homestead, what I'm doing here thing. So if on Instagram, so if you are interested in just the pictures and the short details about what gets done several times a week, almost on a day-to-day basis, then you can go over to Instagram, Daily Ration with Alicia. I will try to put the link to that below if you're interested in that kind of thing. See you on the next one.